Hey, it's the Average Dan. I've been chased inside our 2009 Chrysler Town & Country because it's pouring outside. But I want to get this video out because after, I don't even know how long I've been fighting with this issue with the beeping dashboard, I am happy to report that our issue is resolved. I'm going to go into a little more detail about how that came to be. So take a look.
Alright, so if you watch my previous videos, you may know that I went through the trouble of taking apart the driver's side door and examining the wires that came out of this rubber boot on the door side. Checked it thoroughly for frayed wires or broken wires, and I didn't come up with anything. Then I realized through some searching online that the other end of that boot could actually disconnect from the car. So as you see here, it kind of goes into a plastic box. Now this plastic box, I was able to pop it out of the car side with relatively minor effort. The problem is there really wasn't a lot of room to work after doing that because it's connected on the inside, and I wasn't getting a lot of slack to actually maneuver it so I could do something about it. So what I actually decided to do was to take the door off. Alright, so removing the door. The door has a little bit of weight to it, but it was surprisingly fairly easy to remove completely. As you can see here, I put a jack stand under the door to take the weight off of it, and I removed the nuts from the two hinges. I did it from the bottom and worked my way up, so just so it wouldn't want to fall off prematurely. So it was actually 4 nuts, 2 at each hinge at the top and bottom of the door. There is a panel that where the rubber harness for the wires goes into the door that has 2 little hex screws. I took that off just so there was some play in the wire that would allow me to drop the door to the ground and make sure that it would actually reach. So yeah, I took off those, and that gained me access to get a better view of those wires. So let's take a look at those. So here's what the harness looks like after you've disconnected it from the car. As you can see, it's typical of all the other electrical connections. It just has little buttons you push to release it, and you can see the plastic box that you saw in the previous picture. That's what actually popped out of the car side of the connection, or actually it was clipped into the metal. That's what popped out of the metal on the car side. So once I took this off, the rubber boot was actually wrapped around the back side of this white plastic box, if you will. So I removed I was able to remove it with my fingers. I didn't need any special tools. I removed that from around the plastic box and peeled it down and took a look at the actual wires that were connected to the back side of these connectors. Alright, now this is the part where the clouds parted and the trumpets blared, and I realized I had finally discovered a very strong likelihood as the root of the problems that I've been having. As you can see here, these 2 wires that were twisted together were completely separated. At some point they had broke, probably just from repetitive use of opening and closing the door. So I simply took some other wire and used it as a kind of a jumper to repair these connections, taped them up with electrical tape, and then put everything back together. And when I did so, not only had the beeping stopped in the dashboard, but my power windows and all the controls on that in the driver's side door functioned exactly how they should.
So there you have it. After probably what's been like a year or more of trying to figure out what was causing the beeping dashboard, finally hunted it down, finally was able to fix it, and everything works as expected. So you may have noticed that I was using still images in this video as opposed to the way I normally do it, and that's because I spent quite a bit of time prior to this epiphany swapping out the electronic control module on the driver's side door that I spent like $70 to get, with the hopes that it was actually the problem or the cause of the problem. But after doing all that and recording all that video, it didn't do anything for me. So by that time it was getting a little later in the day. I just wanted to get the pictures taken and get the work done and confirm that it was actually fixed before I worried about making a video. So, but hey, it's fixed now. It's a relief. Weather was getting pretty hot, and the AC on the Chrysler Town and Country seems to have a leak in it. Seems to be a very common issue, so we might have to make a video about that too, because my brother actually drives or his wife drives a Grand Caravan, or whatever the Dodge version's called. It has the same problem with the AC, so that might have to be our next video. But got the windows working, got the dashboard to stop that horrible beeping, and we're good to go. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It really does help. Doesn't cost you anything, but we're really trying to build our subscriber base. So share your comments, good, bad, or otherwise. If you have any specific questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I will respond, and I will give you as much information as I have. Like the video, and until next time, this is The Average Dan. Thanks.